for us to come home in front of our family, fans, Raider Nation, the Black Hole.
Raiders! Goddamn right.
What is up, Raider Nation? Jay Raider here. Welcome to the Postgame reaction show, Raiders versus Chargers. The last game of the season. The nightmare is over, y'all. We can go ahead and watch this season off, and look forward towards the off season and to 2025. But obviously, we had this game to go ahead and take care of and get out of the way. Obviously, there was a little bit on the line with this game. We had the opportunity to go ahead and knock down the Chargers out of that 5th seed and have them go on the road and play Baltimore next weekend. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and we'll go ahead and break down this game in just a moment. But as always, make sure, if you guys are new to the show, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. I am at 96 subscribers, trying to get to that 100 mark. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you guys wipe your feet, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, support the show. Obviously, for my regulars, for my diehards, my ride or dies, hit that like button. I appreciate you guys so much for joining and watching this show. At least the last for this season post-game reaction show of Just Raiders Baby Live. But I'm not going away. No, sirree, Bob. I still got a lot of stuff going on. Doing the Raider Connection. My new Saturday morning show, Good Morning Raiders, that is going on every damn Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. That is 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'm still bringing down Raider news, rumors, and free agency, draft. We still got a whole lot of stuff that we got to go ahead and talk about. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button as always. And again, salute to my chat. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit up that chat. Chat lives do matter. Salute to my guy, that Raiders fan. Appreciate you. Lucky number 6 it is. Yes, sir. And we are definitely go ahead and get into that in a bit as well. So don't worry. We're going to be definitely talking about that. Yes, sir. But before I go ahead and get into it, I do have some guests for you guys tonight. My first guest, my co-host on my Wednesday show, he was with me yesterday as well. My guy, Jeff, New England, Raider Booster. Welcome, brother.
What's up? What's
Thank
up?
you for being
How we
on the
doing?
show.
The season is over.
Actually, I got can't hear ya.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, a little
Hello?
technical difficulty. But
How about now?
you might have to come out and come back in, brother.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
Let me do this. Let me go ahead and try to add you. Let's try it again.
Hello? Hello?
Ooh, I cannot hear you. But hey, we'll have Jeff back in just a second once he fixes his technical difficulties. But we're gonna go ahead and start kicking off this show. Week 18 versus Chargers in Vegas. This was the final home game of the season, y'all. And obviously, being able to go ahead and play a division rival in this game was a big thing. Again, like I said earlier, we had the opportunity to go ahead and knock down the Chargers off that 5th seed and go ahead and put them into 6th seed, have them go on the road and travel to go ahead and play Baltimore on the road in cold weather, and unfortunately, that wasn't the case. We fell a little bit short. We fell a lot of short in this game. We did get to see kind of what the Chargers can do. I mean, this, we might not like them, but it is what it is. These guys are a good team, so they came in, especially with the starters, and they were looking to go ahead and get that fifth seed. Let me go ahead and try to bring in Jeff one more time. All right, brother.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I gotcha. All right.
Okay, let me try this again. Yay, the season's over.
There you go. Yes, season
The
is finally
longest
over.
goddamn season I think I've ever witnessed.
Oh my
Jesus.
God, shit.
I mean, I'm
I
sad
I'm
football's done for us,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
but I'm moving, as Belichick would say, moving on to the off season now.
Yeah,
So
moving on to the off season, and I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the off season for us. Obviously, you got the draft, you got free agency. You guys, as you guys know, we have 100+ million in salary cap. That's going to buy us a lot of things, a lot of good players. We got to be just strategic about it, right?
mhm.
So it'll be interesting who we bring in that free agency now that we got the money for it. Um, you got questions looming as far as whether we still draft a quarterback or not. And then the biggest question as of right now, and it's probably going to be on the news, and I haven't heard anything yet, and I think we're going to be trying to put our ears to the pulse and try to see if we can go ahead and hear anything regarding AP's future. Obviously, he lost today, and on the resume, it doesn't look good. But I mean, it is what it is. We don't know whether Mark has already made a decision, whether he goes or he stays. Right? I know there's quite a bit of us that would like him to go ahead and stay. I know I do. Definitely got to give this guy another shot, another year, put an actual good team together for him. Mind you, there was a lot of injuries that kind of basically prevented us from having a good season or winning season, as to say the least. But definitely, you got to go. You got to go ahead and put something together for this guy. You got to get him his quarterback. You got to get him a good offensive coordinator.
Mhm.
You got to go ahead and give them depth, right? We had a little bit of depth defensively, but obviously we see now everybody who played today where those holes come in for that depth, right? So that plays a part into that resume, into that review for AP when you're looking back to go ahead and analyze this and analyze the season on everything that's been done. You can't take that out of the equation. Definitely got to go ahead and think it through. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Jeff? Do you think, because still, even I saw this presser earlier and I couldn't get a read on AP's tone, and they asked him a few times what whether if he's gonna stay or he's gonna go or anything like that, and there's just
Yeah.
no comment, no comment, no comment. So I don't know. I mean, do you think he knows? Do you think it's still kind of left up in the air, and he's gonna have to have that sit down? What do you think?
Again, it's still like you just said, and like I said earlier in the week, it's tough to get a read from anybody within the organization when you see them talk. Um,
Mhm.
it's tough to just try and get a read on anybody whether they think AP staying or going. The body language doesn't
Right.
appear like he is. Um,
Mhm.
Either that or he's just putting on a good front if he already knows. I mean, let's put it this way: the Patriots didn't waste any time. As soon as their game was over today, Jared
Yeah.
Mayo was let go. I mean, that news spread around the bar pretty quick, especially us being in New England. That's like big news around here. So does that put also, if AP does get let go, that obviously changes possibly the direction we were thinking, which Meaning Vrabel might not even be a viable option because there's a chance that he could go to New England now.
Right.
I know he's been linked to some other interviews. I thought I heard a rumor that he was supposed to come out and talk to somebody out here. I don't know how true that is.
Right.
But if he gets a serious interview in New England and it looks good, that might be one of the saving graces for keeping AP, for allowing him to stay here. Because who are we going to bring in his place? I mean, everybody was thinking Vrabel would be the no-brainer, but
Right.
we'll have to wait and see at this point. I mean, like I said yesterday, if AP makes it until sometime Tuesday without being fired, I think he's going to be good to go. I would have thought if they were going to let him go, it would have been pretty much right after that game today. I mean, I know the game just ended a few hours ago, a couple hours ago. So who knows? Could be a
Yeah.
tomorrow morning decision. Who knows?
It could be a tomorrow
I
morning
just don't want them
decision.
taking forever to do it if they're going to do it.
Right.
Let us
Exactly.
know one way or the other whether he stays or goes right away.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I would like to know like right away whether he's going to go ahead and depart, or if he's really going to go ahead
Mhm.
and stay on another year, right? Um, but that is a question I think that we are all wondering, and hopefully we get an answer really soon. But before we really kind of dive into that, I do want to go ahead and kind of go over the game. Um, and we can go ahead and touch back on AP because obviously we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting and win to see what happens on that matter. But biggest thing here is Jacoby Myers hit 1,000 yards today. He broke that record, and we saw that Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders were really trying to actively help him get to that mark. This is his first time
Yeah.
hitting 1,000 yards ever in his career, so this is a big benchmark that he has hit. Obviously, doing it with the Raiders in a losing season says a lot, right? Mind you, he was in wide receiver one at the beginning of the season. That really didn't happen until about the fourth game or something like that, where he
Yeah.
actually started taking over, and then he missed a game or two on top of that as well. So for Jacoby to hit 1,000 yards is an incredible thing. So salute to him. Congratulations on that accolade. 1,000 yards is an incredible feat. Mind you, his former counterpart, Devontae Adams, didn't have a great season at his in his new team with the Jets. I don't know if anybody saw those highlights, but I think they were trying to throw a flea flicker type scenario, and he got decimated by a linebacker. And they ended their season 4-12, 4-13 as well. So literally, him wanting out from here, having it be so terrible, and all this and this and that. Really, he ended up going to even a worse, more dysfunctional team who just looked terrible out there. Yeah, they
Actually,
won
the
their game
Jets won
today.
today.
They
Jets
won
won,
their
so
game. Yeah, they won the
they
game.
finished five
Luckily,
and 12 this season.
was it 5-12 or 4-13? Because I saw
Yeah, they were
four and
four. They were
thirteen.
they were 4-13, 4-12 going into this game. They ended up winning, so they're 5-12 now.
They're 5-12. Okay, so they
Hmm.
they have one more game won than us, right? But
Yep.
in reality, it's still a failure of a season, So, but I mean, going back to Jacoby, 1,000 yards is a wonderful thing, and I think he has. I don't know if he has one more year on his contract with us. I think after that he goes on to free agency, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. But going into 2025, hitting that 1,000 yards, at least what we know what we can get from Jacoby Myers next season. And then you pair him up with, if we go out and draft a wide receiver like a T Mac or Trey Harris or Jaden Higgins, somebody of that caliber, it's going to even be better. It's going to help us with that with our offense that um, we can go ahead and sling the ball and sling the rock pretty deep, and contend and really, really make an impact at the wide receiver position, right? Um, Obviously, the other news, uh, Brock Bowers is going to the Pro Bowl. And breaking records. I think he broke the last record today, right?
Yeah, he finished with 112. So because Malik
Yeah.
Neighbors at the end of their game today was ahead by I think one or two catches or one catch.
Mhm.
And Brock finished the day with 4. So he finished the season with 112 catches for 1,194 yards and 5 TDs because he did get a TD today too.
Right.
So he finished in catches number 2 overall behind Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Brock Bowers doing the damn thing. Obviously, in that offensive rookie of the year,
So
it's
Robert.
Jaden Daniels and I forgot who else and that running as well. But yeah. But let's go ahead and kind of go break down the game a little bit before we get into our off-season topics, of course. But Raiders losing a tough one in Vegas at home to go ahead and cap the season. 34-20 was the final score. Let me go ahead and kind of go into that. Um, Raiders total yards 473 to 264. You got passing was 225 to 336. We didn't have any run game, bro, not even hit 50 yards on that. The time of possession, I believe at one point we had like 17 minutes of time possession. I think we ended up at it looks like here we ended up at 21 minutes of time possession. It was just 9 a day. Um, Obviously. So, and then obviously the biggest thing with that interception by Aiden O'Connell, Chargers with a good field position ended up go ahead and converting on that turnover for 7 um, on that interception. But as far as on the stats, Aiden O'Connell, 24 to 34, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that 1 interception. Desmond Ritter did come in for a bit. As you know, AOC got hurt. He was out there. He was out there doing the damn thing. He got tackled a couple times and hurt his knee. And I think at that one play where he got sacked,
Yeah.
he hurt his knee, and then he went out for a couple plays. Desmond Ritter came in. He did get a first down on that, but only had that 11 yards. Really nothing from our running backs. It was
No.
mostly catches. Jacoby Myers again, 9 receptions, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Brock Bowers, 4 receptions, 50 yards with that touchdown. You had Trey Tucker with 3 receptions for 24. Michael Mayer had a couple of receptions as well, 4 for 21 yards. And then Madison with 4 receptions, 11 yards. But defense try to go ahead and kind of hang in there. We saw some good plays, but obviously at the end, they cannot hold out. They give up basically 17 points in the second half. And then as you see, that final score was 34-20. I thought they really did have a shot. During the game on my Instagram, my stories, I was saying that we need to go ahead and hit at least 2 touchdowns. I think we're at 13 at that point to go ahead and stay in it. Obviously, we didn't get to do that till the end of the fourth quarter, but definitely we needed something in the third to stay alive, to stay relevant, and something early in that fourth quarter. We had the opportunity. There was multiple times that we stopped the Chargers from actually hitting a touchdown and held them 2 field goals, but we never could do anything from that. But obviously, we end the season 4-13, and we can definitely go ahead and now wash the season off. The other thing is that now we are 0-6 in the AFC West. Um, uh,
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it sucks. It hurts.
What's
That's
up, Billy?
something you don't want. you can suck to the other teams, but being 0-6 in your division, it really hurts because now you gotta take shit from the other teams until next year, right? So you can run it back. But yeah, 0-6 in the AFC West. Everybody's in our division is in the playoffs. Denver won their game. They blew out Kansas City, their
That
second and
was
third string.
expected. I didn't expect anything different than that game.
I thought they're at least going to put up some type of fight, but at least we know we know what we see from their second and third string guys. But yeah, Denver just smashed Kansas City 38-0.
Yeah, they
And
did.
then obviously we lost ours. They're in, so they're all in. Kansas City with the number 1 seed. Denver gets in with number 7. I forgot who they play next week. And then Chargers play at home in LA versus the Texans next weekend as well. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. Hopefully, these guys get knocked out in the first round. I see Denver probably getting knocked out in the first round. That game versus Houston, that's going to be a tough one. And I don't see the Chargers coming out of that one either. So obviously,
Who's
and
going to Baltimore?
I don't know who's going to Baltimore. Let me
Was it?
go
I
ahead
thought
and pull that up because I haven't really seen. I took a snip of it earlier during the broadcast. They showed it, and I'm just going off by memory.
Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh and Baltimore playing each other again.
Okay, so Pittsburgh and Baltimore. All right, and
Yeah.
so yeah, you got those guys. So that's going to be a close game. That's going to be a close game. So we'll see what happens with those games. But whoever, I think KC plays the lowest seed, right? So whoever that lowest seed is, that's who Casey's going to play, and then the other two teams will play each other. But yeah, but before I go any further, let me go ahead and hit up that chat because chat lives do matter. Salute to Robert. Welcome, brother. Appreciate you being on. GT. Salute. The experiment is over. Fire AP. Salute to my guy, LV Rated
Guy.
10. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Salute to Billy. Appreciate you watching, brother. Salute. Make sure you guys hit up that like and subscribe button. Let me know you guys' thoughts on the season. What do you guys think? Obviously, season's over. We can go ahead and kind of move on to the off season and start focusing on really putting a better team forward. Now that Raider football is done until at least August, right? So yeah, let me know. You guys, let me know your thoughts on this as well, and then so you guys know we're gonna have another guest on in a little while. So make sure you guys are tapping in for that as well. But let me go ahead and go into our next subject. We saw AOC perform, and I'll ask you that in just a second, Jeff, on your opinion about this. But obviously, we still have a question looming. Right? Is AOC going to start in 2025? He didn't have the best game today. Still, we weren't able to break that 20-point glass ceiling. He had that one interception that cost that actually converted into that turnover that converted into points by Aiden. I don't know what happened in that route. It was miscommunication, but I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think Aiden is going to start next year if AP stays?
I hope so. Because that's less pressure on who we really have to go and draft in the first round.
Mhm.
But as far as him and his gameplay today, I know I'll probably catch flack for this one too. How much is this loss really reflect on him when you really only had you didn't have much of a running game, period. The running game pretty much was non-existent. You only had Madison back there for the most part. They had Collier, but he didn't touch the ball much.
No.
I mean, as experienced or aged as Abdullah is, not having him in there compared to last week, a huge impact.
Mhm.
Huge impact. Not having him available, which is why I don't understand why they knew days ago that Abdullah wasn't going to play. Why wasn't Lavi out there too?
Mhm.
What is something mustn't be right with this kid because you're not seeing enough of him. This would have been a perfect game for him to get involved in.
They had him in. They had him in, but they just had him in special teams. He did
Yeah,
the
I mean,
kickoff
but
return.
I mean on like offense, to help out your
Yeah, they didn't have
quarterback.
office. Hmm.
So I hope he's the starter going forward. Um, we'll have to wait and see. Again, this is another, you know, we're gonna have patience. Your
Right.
Raider fans have to have patience as going forward from here. If you're expecting things to change overnight, that you're in the wrong. You're dealing with the wrong shit right now because
Hmm.
this isn't a patient. I mean, this isn't a spur at the moment decision to make right now. There's so many
Yeah.
different variables, but I hope he's the starter next year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it all depends on obviously if AP is going to be staying on as head coach, who they're going to bring in as the offensive coordinator. That's going to determine a lot whether he's going to be our starter going into next season, right? Obviously, whoever we draft. Might not necessarily be the starter right away. Whether even if you still draft Shedeur, for example, not necessarily would he start. I know a lot of people would want him to start, but it's only beneficial for him to go ahead and sit back and learn the system, learn how the speed at the NFL level goes. Obviously, whoever they draft, they're going to get some playing time during preseason, and they're really going to get that hands-on experience at the highest level. They're going to be able to get that feel for the game to get them best prepared. We want to make sure whoever we bring in is best prepared. But um, obviously, whoever will be at head coach, whoever's going to be at the offensive coordinator, is going to really say whether or not he's going to go ahead and stay on. We know AOC is AP's favorite, right? We know they have a really good relationship. That he likes AP. He likes his grit. He likes how hard he works. So we know that most likely he's going to be the top candidate. We talked about it yesterday. If they're going to make a decision, we hope that decision's early on. We don't want to
Hmm.
have it wait till like the last game of the preseason to know who's going to be that starting quarterback to go ahead and start that week one. It's not a confidence booster. You got to build these guys' confidence no matter what. Whether
Yeah,
you got a draft pick, you're putting a rookie draft pick, putting a seasoned vet, or you're putting your regular your regular quarterback in there, right? You got to build that to that confidence. So knowing early on if those are going to be the guys um, does make a difference. So yeah, it all depends whether or not AP stays. Obviously, if he goes and we bring Grable, we're bringing somebody else, um, that plan might go out the window. I don't know whether he stays or not. They might go even to the extremity where they might cut AOC. You never know. That could be a possibility, right? I don't see that happening because um, we saw what he can do this season. Um, there is a lot of areas of improvement, and we've seen that he's progressed as a quarterback. So I don't see him necessarily being cut by the Raiders this offseason, right? But yeah, again, let me go ahead and go to the chat and salute to the chat. The chat lives do matter.
thanks, Mike.
Salute to Tanner. Defense was terrible today. Yes, it was not. That second half play was not the best.
Yeah,
Salute to Sacktown. Raider Mike, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you hopping on the show, giving us a watch as well. But the biggest question, obviously, like I just said, is AP still on his way out? I can't get rid of that guy. We'll know. We'll know this week coming up. We haven't seen anything as of yet the body language during this last presser that he had for the regular season didn't even give us any clues, right? He was just no comment, no comment, no comment to all the questions on whether he's going to stay or he's going to go. So we can't
Did
get
you
a
watch the
clear cut.
press conference after the game?
Not right after the game. I had to go back. I
No, I
missed
haven't
it.
either.
So
So I don't know
I
how his
missed
demeanor was afterwards.
I missed it, but I had to go back. I didn't watch it live. I had to go back and catch
I didn't
the
even watch
replay.
it. I
Oh, you didn't
just
watch it.
so
His demeanor
no.
was all business. He looked annoyed when he was asked those questions regarding whether he's gonna stay or go, if he knows anything
Well,
on his
yeah. I mean, I
future.
would be
Right.
too
Yeah,
if yeah. I mean, it's like a question you don't want to have to be dealt with at that point. First of all, he knows it's not up to him. I mean, eh, I'd be pissed too if you're going in there to talk about the game and the players, and people just media just keeps hounding you. What do you think your status is? Well, I don't know. You're
Mhm.
asking the wrong person. If I was him, I'd be like, you're asking the wrong person. You need to ask, the owner. You need to ask them. Don't be asking me
Right.
that stuff. You're just pissing me off.
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
it's
I
like what the
agree.
fudge? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I'm sitting here as you're talking, and I'm going to CBS Sports Line, refresh, and going to
Right.
ESPN, refresh, and because that's how we're going to find out it breaks. We're going to see it on one of those,
Mhm.
especially
Or
ESPN. I just keep looking to see, like, all right, is he still here? Is he gone? What?
right, right. Yeah. I mean, we'll know. I mean, obviously, follow some of the NFL insiders, and I think they'll know before CBS does probably. So yeah, I mean, just keeping a beeline on that, and like we said, if we don't hear anything today, doesn't necessarily mean that he's safe because we can know something
Yeah.
tomorrow. They could be announced tomorrow afternoon, or
This
tomorrow
is like waiting
morning.
for the results from the election, from the presidential
Right,
election. It's like I'm
right.
going to stay up all night and just keep watching these, sports shows and keep seeing what's going to happen. I mean, because this is a
Yes.
big deal. It really is. If you think about it, as a Raider fan, this is the first major thing that's going to happen in the off season, and then it's going to set the direction for the upcoming year. It's going to set everything in motion as far as now we got to start worrying about a head coaching selection,
Right,
and then that coach is going to worry about bringing in his people, and then we can start talking about free agent. The free agency should already be started, but you want your
hmm
new coach involved in it. And then you got to start talking about this. So, I mean, this is the first domino that needs to fall is whether he
right,
goes or he stays.
right.
And then
Exactly.
after
So
that, it's just clear sailing to figure this rest of the shit out.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, you gotta answer this question before you can start your free agency. So we can't even go into free agency,
No,
really starting to talk about what guys are going to be acquired. Um, with your GM until that
hmm
question is figured. Maybe they know already, and they obviously they don't want to share that with the public just yet, or maybe they truly don't know. That is an actual question. So, my thoughts. I think he stays. You give him another year, put the team together that he needs to be an actual contender in the AFC West, along with other teams as well.
what's up,
When
Raider
I
Paul?
say that, when I say contender, I mean that a little bit loosely. At least to be able to go ahead and contend in our division, to bring that to at least 500, because being 0-6 is a tough pill to swallow.
That
Um,
hurts me more as a Raider fan than losing outright for the rest. I mean, we could not win another game in the NFL against all the other teams, but going 0-6 in our division, that alone right there pisses me off more than anything, to be honest with you. If we can't
mhm,
get up as a team in an organization to win at least one or two of those games, that pisses me off more than anything right now.
right.
I
Yeah.
hate being shut out in our own division. It just ugh, that annoys the living shit out of me.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible to hear the shit from the players, to hear from the fans. Having these guys come in and beat us in our house. it fucking sucks. I definitely want to go ahead and if anything, if we go to 500 next year in the division, at least win all of our home games, right? You want to keep that intact at home. That should be the place where you definitely
Mhm.
go in there and win. But we haven't. We had no solution this year. We came close
No.
with Kansas City. We thought we had a little bit of a shot here early on, but that game just got away from us. And then I was same thing with the Broncos. We kept it close for a bit, but that game got away from us. But yes,
No.
again, you guys let me know your thoughts on whether or not AP stays or goes. Share what you guys think. I'll put that up right now. So let me go ahead and jump into the chat before I get into your thought really quick, Jeff. Salute real quick to Raider Paul with the Raiders. Salute, brother. Welcome. AP Tanner says AP can't beat Harbaugh and Fat Andy. Not this season, at least. Not with this team. He thinks he's over his head. He might be a little bit over his head, but still, the team that was put together for him wasn't a competitive team. So that does play a factor. Jason down, salute. Reed, Harbaugh, Payne are going to be hard to win. That's where we come in. That's why we do it in the off season. We put a team together that can go ahead and compete with those guys, right? Whether it's going to be AP or a different guy, that still remains to be the question, right? That Raiders fan hate the fact that our division rivals have a franchise quarterbacks. Yeah,
Facts right there. That's a fact statement.
They got Patrick. Casey has Patrick Mahomes. Denver has now Bo Nix. Obviously, Chargers got Herbert. And we're still trying to find our guy. Now, whether we find it in the draft or in free agency, that's yet to be determined. But yeah. So where's that football? Okay, so TK, we're talking professional football. AP is going to be gone. All right, that is a real possibility. There's some analysts that say that he might be safe. I heard that a few times already. That he might be safe. They're going to call him safe because they don't know, right? Just because of everything that has gone on in the season with all the injuries and everything, they're calling him safe. So, but it's really close to call. We don't know what way that Mark's going to swing on this, or if it's going to be a Mark and Tom decision, Tom Brady decision. It is not Telesco's decision, but it is both Mark and now Tom decision whether or not he's going to stay or go. Obviously, Patriots let go of Jared Mayo today after their loss. Did they win? No, right? They won. They won today.
Who?
Did the Pats win? The Pats won.
Yeah, they won. They beat Buffalo. Buffalo didn't start anybody.
Yeah. I think
I mean the Pats kind of fucked themselves by
left.
winning, which is funny. They win and then Jared Mayo gets fired a few moments later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Winning in that division with that with the Bills in there, forget it. I mean that's a tough ass division too.
That is a tough division, yeah, for sure, 100%. So they let go of Mayo, and they're going to be looking for a new head coach this offseason. So obviously, Mike Grable is going to be on their list. Not necessarily do we know that he's going to go to New England, but obviously having that relationship with Kraft.
Living in New England myself and knowing this team and knowing this fan base, if they don't hire Vrabel, the fans at number one in this area are gonna go fucking bullshit because that's who everybody and their brother wants is Vrabel. Just like some of us wanted him in Oakland. Like I wish we were still in Oakland. With the Raiders, I think it's an absolute no-brainer. They'll do the whole Rooney Rule thing and interview the minority coaches and everything, but Kraft is already sitting there going, "That's who I'm giving the job to. I'm just gonna dot my I's and cross my T's and make sure I do everything by the book." But yeah, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna hire him. I can't imagine Vrabel taking any other job. He's wanted that
Right.
job for a while. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Hmm.
I mean, this
Yeah.
is
And then,
where he made his name in the first place, not as a coach, but as a player. And everybody around here absolutely loves the guy.
mhm.
So he's gonna. It's gonna be a. He would have to do a lot of real bad shit for fans to like hate him and want him out of here. Uh, I just think it's a no brainer. He's going to New England. There's no two ways
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. And then with that, I don't know if you can take that as an indicator that maybe AP stays, because obviously Grable is probably most likely the top candidate to come over to the Raiders, right? And if he gets, obviously, if he goes to New England, who else do you get, right? So I don't know. You can look at it different ways with that
Well,
scenario.
there's talk of Vrabel because he wants to bring McDaniel's back
Hmm.
to New England also as the OC. So, which is fine. I mean, you can have him.
They can
I
have
don't
him.
want that guy.
Yep.
I don't want him anywhere anything to do with our organization ever
Nope.
again.
Nope. 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 Definitely not. So yeah, I mean, obviously, and then that's the other question, right? So if you do part ways with AP, who is gonna be those head coaching candidates? He is one of them. And then you can go out and look at different people. We look at Ben Johnson was another one. Um, I know we had talked about Robert Sala as a defensive coordinator, but he does have that head coaching experience.
Hmm.
That might be another possibility as well. Who do you thinking if they decide to go ahead and part ways with AP? Who do they bring in to go ahead and replace him?
Here's the downside if we do let AP go, because of the possibilities of who we're going to be looking at to interview. It's going to prolong the whole process because of the teams that are now going to be in the playoffs. Most of the coaches that everybody's going to be talking about are coaching on these teams that are in the playoffs, and one of them being Johnson from Detroit.
Hmm.
Regardless of how this game goes tonight, whether they get the number one seed or not, um, it's still it's gonna delay the process of because we can't interview anybody as long as they're still coaching, and unless they get
Right.
permission from their team, which I don't see them doing that. I wouldn't if I was an owner of Detroit. I wouldn't be letting that guy out of my building
Hmm.
until our season is 100% done because their goal is to win a Super Bowl. I think
Right.
if he wins a Super Bowl, you might see him leave Detroit. I still don't think he will leave Detroit if they don't win it this year because they've still got a good shot at coming back again next year and doing the same thing. Because I think
Yeah.
he would look at it as I have unfinished business here. I've built too much of this team to just walk away at this point when we're so close, you
Hmm.
know. So that's
Hmm.
the downside to losing a head coach now is ones you're looking at are still in the playoffs. It pushes us further into the off season before a decision is made, you
Right.
know. But I also don't want us jumping at only the ones that are available to talk to right now because they might not be the right fit, but we just jump at one, you
Hmm.
know, which is what something that Mark Davis might have done if he didn't have other people in the front office with him, like a Tom Brady and a Seymour and some of these other people that are going to be in Telesco involved in saying, well, we're not gonna jump at the first, best option when we could have
Right.
much better options if we wait a little, a couple more weeks, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to take your time on this if you make that move because let's say they make this move this week where they move on from AP, uh we might not know who that head coach is going to be for like about another month, right? I don't know whether or not they would wait to start interviewing until the season is officially over with the playoffs, the Super Bowl wrapped up. If they're looking at, like, for example, Ben Johnson or somebody of that caliber to come in and take over. Um, But yeah, I mean that's it does push us back more in the off season. It delays a whole lot of things. Um, but obviously, another possibility would be because Patrick Graham did not sign his extension. He might be another possibility. He takes over as head coach.
And
If he
I'd be
decides
fine
to
with
go,
that, to be honest with you.
yeah, if he decides to go ahead and interview for that position, if that position becomes a vacant and available, he might interview for that. And again, that is not a bad thing for that to happen because he already has that familiarity with the team, that continuity with the defense. You got
The
that
players on defense
away,
respect him. That's the thing.
yeah,
He's got a great rapport with them. So, I mean,
yeah,
if you're Mark Davis and Telesco and everybody else in that office, that could almost come across as a no-brainer.
mhm,
You still got to dot your I's and cross your T's and do the right thing
mhm.
with, bringing other people in for interviews and such.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to put I say you got to put a list together. You got to put a solid list of who you want
Mhm.
to go ahead and really consider as your head coach, right? We can't just like try to, you know, kind of brush this in, right? Like we did with AP and just kind of did the formalities because we already knew who he's going to pick, right? We're just going through the reading rule, right?
Mhm.
So maybe this time around, we give it an actual serious consideration on the candidates that they actually interview for head coach. But really quick before I go into the chat, as usual, thank you guys for watching this post game reaction show with myself and my guy Jeff, New England Raider Booster. As always, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Wipe your feet. I was at 96, trying to get to that 100 mark. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. I'm doing shows 2 to 3 times a week. We do the Raider Connection every damn Wednesday, and we're doing one this damn Wednesday. And now I got my brand new morning show going on at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys tap into that. Make sure you guys are going into my guys' channel. Make sure you guys give him a subscribe as well. And make sure you guys are liking the show if you're watching on his channel as well. But yeah, again, we got to give consideration to who we bring in as a head coach. But let me go ahead and go into that chat because obviously the chat loves do matter. Um, Kobe, who we drafting? We need to trade up or stay away, and we'll talk about that in just a second. About to jump into that part. But my opinion says AP should be fired today. And that's what we're waiting to see. We're keeping the ear to the pulse and see if we hear anything whether or not he's actually going to be uh, departing from the Raiders. Uh, Jason Downs, how about Pete Carroll? I don't mind that. I'm an SC guy. I'm all about SC. He had a pretty good time in Seattle. Obviously um they had some down years as well, but I like Pete Carroll. I don't mind him, but
I'd be okay
you
with
know,
him.
yeah, because yeah, he's a solid guy. And he has
He's
pretty good
respected
relationship
in
with
the
the guy.
league too. It's not like you're
Definitely.
hiring some fucking no-name loser.
Right, exactly. For sure. Wildcat says nobody wins in Vegas. Raiders time to go back to Oakland before you lose your gas money. Yeah, I don't see that ever happening, bro. Oakland does
Unless
not
you're
want to
the
pay.
unless you're
Oh,
the Vegas Knights or the Aces, that they're the only ones that win in Vegas so far.
yeah, but then Oakland does not want anything to do with sports, I think, anymore because they don't want to shell out any type of money. That's why the
Yeah.
A's are leaving. Uh, Raiders are here now in Vegas. So they're losing the teams. They don't want to go ahead and build anything. They don't have
Didn't the
money.
Golden State Warriors used to play in Oakland too at one point?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So they're gone too now.
yeah. They're somewhere in San Francisco
Yeah.
or around that area. They're not in Oakland anymore. But Jason says, "How about Nick Saban?"
No.
I don't know. I don't think Nick Saban would want to come to the Raiders, but
No.
yeah,
Why if he came to us, that would tarnish his reputation. I honestly, eh, I he tried once coming to the NFL and it didn't work out. He didn't last long at all. And it's not that he's a bad coach or whatever. It's just college, from college to pros, it's such a big difference. You know, you don't have as much control in the NFL as you do in college. When you're the head coach in a college team, you're it. You're the guy. You know, you control every aspect of that team. You know, it's not gonna. No, not Saban. And not that
Yeah.
he's a bad coach. I love him for his coaching ability and what he's done in college. He's one of those guys that's a terrific, phenomenal, the best college coach in my eyes, but not an NFL coach.
Right, right, definitely. I agree. But I guess if you have to take something good away from this loss, it is that now the Raiders do have the number 6 overall pick, and that's where we're going to go ahead and go into this offseason with that pick, because everybody on the chat is starting to talk about that, and it is final. So you guys know, I will share my screen to go ahead and show you where we placed. Um, New England didn't win their game today, and but they do drop down. We lost. We do go up. I thought we were going to hit number 5. We didn't. We fell short. We
I was
ended up at
hoping we were
number
going to finish
6.
at 10.
I know you did. I
I
know
did.
there's a lot of other people. I honestly, it was neither here or there. Whether we stayed at 8, dropped down to 10, it didn't matter really. But yeah, as you guys can see, Tennessee is number 1. Cleveland is 2. Giants did lose their game today, so they ended up at 3. New England drops to 4. Jacksonville 5, and then we are at 6. So that's where we end, and we're going to go into that draft with the number 6 overall pick going into that 2025 NFL draft. I don't know. Tell me, what are your thoughts now that we know where we ended up at number 6? There is options, because I know at one point when we had the number 1 overall pick, some of the talk was to go down, or to trade back or go down to get a different type of players or get more draft capital. I know that was an option, but now being at 6, we don't have the number 1 overall pick. We don't know. Most likely Tennessee might most likely get a quarterback. Cleveland most likely will not, because they just restructured Deshaun Watson. We know where New York Giants stand. Patriots have Drake May. They're good. Jacksonville has Trevor Lawrence, so they're good. And obviously we need a quarterback. So there might be possibility where we might be doing a trade with Cleveland or maybe even Tennessee, and then they can draft a quarterback in a later round. That's a possibility as well. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, Jeff. What do you think about being at 6?
Don't trade back. Don't trade up. In other words, that's my feeling. Don't be giving away future draft equity, whether it's this year's draft picks in the second, third, whatever, or anything from next year's. Um, Stay pat at 6. If anything, fall back more. Give someone else on number 6. Let us move, say, to like 10, 12, and gain a second round, an extra second or third round pick. I'm fine with that. Don't lose picks to move up. That's my feeling. You stay at number 6, take the best available, because the best available at number 6. Because I'm telling you right now, Giants are taking a quarterback, and I'm guaranteeing Tennessee's taking a quarterback. Giants don't have anything at quarterback right now. They're not going to go in the next season with Drew Lock as their starter. Absolutely not.
Right.
They're going to go for one of those two. They're going to go for Sanders or Ward, I hope. Tennessee, they're not going to go into next season with Will Levis as their starter. They're just, that experiment's failed for them already this year. But they need a lot of other pieces too. So they could possibly trade away that first pick themselves to move further back to get more picks, to bring more bodies in, because they're almost in the same situation we are. They've got a lot of holes to fill. So If those two teams stay pat and don't move, there goes your two quarterbacks. So sitting at number 6, that gives us a chance to grab somebody like, in a severe impact player like Abdul Carter, that kid Johnson, the cornerback from Michigan, you know, even grabbing the best wide receiver available. I mean, there's so many different options at number 6. We're not being pigeonholed to take just one select player. At number 6, there's going to be some good picks right there. And one of them, as far as it should not be Genty. I know a lot of people are high on him and everything.
Right.
I'm not anymore. I was at one point, but I'm falling off of that one. We can still get a quarterback that's going to be possibly the future in the second to third round. There's too many good wide receivers, running backs, defensive players that we can plug and play pretty much almost right away. And that's what I want. I want immediate impact players. I don't want projects.
Right. I'm still on the we need a quarterback train. And I'm not jumping off.
Oh, I'm
that
not saying
because
we don't, but we can wait.
I know. You
we
think
can
you can wait? I don't want to wait. And I think a lot of the Raider Nation probably doesn't want to wait either. If you're gonna make your move to get Cam or Shedeur, definitely most likely it's gonna be training with Cleveland. I know Sholo says don't rule out Cleveland for a QB. They rigged Watson's entire deal for last month for more flexibility to get off Watson's contract. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but I mean, if you're going to restructure the guy and give him more money just to get rid of him, I don't know. I don't see it. Right? Doesn't necessarily mean they won't get a quarterback. They might be willing to go ahead and still trade their 2 spot. They can always go ahead and get a quarterback at a later round, right? If that's the way you're going to go. If you're going to be aggressive and go out and try to get the top quarterback, you're going to have to deal with Cleveland. I doubt Tennessee is willing to go ahead and negotiate at the number 1 to go ahead because they need a quarterback. That's for sure. And that's most likely the way they're going to go ahead and lean. New York is never going to go ahead and give up the 3rd spot. They're going to try. There's going to be a bidding war with Cleveland to try to get that 2 spot. And whoever gets that 2 spots can get either Cam or Shedeur, right? I don't know if, let's say, most likely probably Tennessee will get a Cam. I don't know if Shedeur would necessarily go to Tennessee in that market. And that might be something where he goes number 2, right? If you're still looking at those 2 top players, right? Let's say you don't trade up, right? Let's say we go Jeff Stroud, we don't trade up. I'm still offensive minded. I'm going out and getting a wide receiver because that's something that we need. We need a tall receiver. All of our guys are 6 foot or under.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I think only Jacoby's 6 foot. Everybody else is short, under 6 foot. So you got T-Mac.
There's the lollipop guild out there for wide receivers.
Yeah. So you got T-Mac
They'll come from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Most likely Hunter is going to go within the first couple of rounds. Probably 4 or 5. He's going to go, and then T-Mac might be available at 6. Definitely grab him. You could go to Trey Harris. Definitely, I would get a running back in the 2nd or 3rd. I'm probably leaning more towards 3rd and get your quarterback at the 2nd round, right? Jackson Dart looked really good this last past game. You could go after Gabriel. There's a couple other guys you can. I don't know about Genty. Again, I'm not on board with him.
He comes with a lot of miles, man.
A lot of miles, right?
Shit out of him this season.
Yep. So I don't know if you take him or not, but and then you can grab your running back at 3rd or 4th. Then you can start going and putting your defense together, grabbing a couple of other guys, get a couple edge, cornerback. Caleb Johnson, I think was one of them, right? No, but there was a different cornerback, my bad. That was available as well. So, there's options that we can go ahead and do through the later rounds. But if I'm at 6 and I'm still offensive minded, you got to put that team together offensively. That should be your first order of business. if you're not going to go for a quarterback right away, still putting an offense together. Definitely wide receiver is going to be a spot that is definitely much needed to give Jacoby Myers some support. But yeah, again, you guys in the chat, let me know what are your thoughts on this. I know there's a lot of opinions out there on who the Raiders should get at 6, whether they trade up or not. Whether you trade up to go for Shedeur or Cam, that is obviously the other question. We know Jeff's thoughts on this, but you guys let me know your thoughts. Let me go ahead and jump into the chat. Jason says, "Can Genty make it to 6?" Probably, man. I'm pretty sure he's not. He's going to be available. Probably until
I
like
think
the
he'll make
second
it
round.
past 6.
Yeah,
I think he'll make it
definitely.
past 6. He
Yeah,
won't make it past the Cowboys, though. I'll tell you that much. The Cowboy, if he makes it to the Cowboys, he's gone.
yeah,
That's a Jerry Jones player move right there, without a
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. Arnie says, at 6, can we get McMillan, Graham, Johnson, or Carter? Who would you pick? I
I
said
honestly would
McMillan.
take Carter.
You'll take Carter. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Gotcha. Sholo, man. If we trade back and get Genty, then I don't care if we take him, but yeah, not at 6 pick. There you go. Arnie says running back Caleb Johnson, Henderson, Scattaboo. I like Scattaboo.
I
You
do
like
too.
Scattaboo. I think he'll be a Raider if he's available on 3rd round. I think we get him. I think we get him.
I mean,
So
ultimately, my first 3 round picks would go like this. They would be Carter, um, Dart in the second, and then Scatterbo, or flip flop, um, Scatterbo and Dart, whichever. Because I honestly think Scatterbo is going to move up. I think
mhm,
his stock is going to rise after between the game he just played. If he plays in any of these senior games and
mhm.
then in the combine, I think his draft stock's going to rise. So he could end up being slated to go in the second round, which might make other teams look to grab him sooner than what was anticipated. Which with us sitting with a number 6 pick in the second round, that's not a reach grabbing him at that point in my opinion.
Yeah,
And then follow it up with Dart. Don't forget, we got 2 third-round picks that are going to be fairly close to each other too.
yes, very
Almost
close to
back
each
to
other.
back picks. We got the
Hmm.
Jets pick and ours. So
Yes,
even if
exactly.
even if both of them fall to number 3 back to back, I mean that's a possibility too. I think
Hmm.
that's a great start with those 3 players. They almost could end up mirroring your 3 that you just had to pick. Granted, I know Dart wouldn't start, but Scatterbo could definitely start from the get go.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Scotty could start.
I mean, that kid showed me everything I needed to see from him just in that one bowl game. the,
Mhm.
the guts and the determination and the will to just play and play his ass off and leave it all on the field, man.
Yeah, his attitude is great. That's
Oh
and
yeah,
that's what's very appealing about him. So for sure. TK 29 says take best available. You have 100 million cap money. You go out and get a quarterback and then draft it as it goes. Uh, yeah, you take best player available. So that's another option. You can go ahead and get one in free agency. I think Fields is going to be available. That might be an option, especially now that Getsy is gone. He ain't coming back. So that might be an option for him. We don't know. Obviously, um, that is a question. Arnie says Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, big wide receivers in the draft. Yeah. So I'm still offensive minded. I still want to go ahead and start putting that team together, because you can get your linemen in the later round. You don't have to get them in that second or third. You can go ahead and
yeah,
start building your depth in the defense between that third, fourth, fifth round, sixth, seventh. That's where you go ahead and start putting your linemen together. But we have like Jess said, we have 2 third-round picks. You can get a offensive player and a defensive player in that round. So you can. That's if you're not trading up to go to second, because you can use that extra draft pick to go up. You never know. So that'll be interesting, what Telesco does with that draft pick, if he's going to go ahead and make a move there, or if he's going to stay with the 2 picks. So we'll see. But yeah, or he's going to keep it and see what he can go ahead and get in that round. Right. Ron says, I would love the Raiders to hire Bill Belichick, former Patriots coach, if he's available. Tom Brady will prove, I'm sure, 6 Super Bowls at the Dynasty. We need that kind of coach. Sorry, Ron. Your guy is spoken for. He's going to UNC, North Carolina.
What did you say? I didn't see that.
Huh?
Bill Belichick. Yeah, no, not
Yeah.
happening.
And then Raider Nation would not be.
The fans hated it when McDaniel was here. You think they're gonna be happy with Belichick? Absolutely not.
When the rumors of Tom's putting out feelers to Bill to see if he's interested in coming over in some capacity, I wasn't with it. Fuck that.
No.
But yeah, no, he's spoken for. He got a head coaching job at University of North Carolina, so he's a Tar Heel. He's going to be there for quite a while. Most likely Scott Turner is going to go over there and join him. We don't know. That's another question. I don't know if Scott sticks around with the Raiders, especially having kind of a game like this where we can't even break 20 points. We might need to bring somebody else to go ahead and really reshape this offense. So that's really what we need. Young DB, salute, brother. We appreciate you. Got to subscribe. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, brother. But yes, that's the question. Do you trade up to go for Shedeur or Cam? I say if you are going to do it, you definitely got to go ahead and put the negotiation in with Cleveland. That's the team you're going to go ahead and try to make that deal happen, because looks like Tennessee is going to go for a quarterback, most likely, because they don't have anything really set up there in Tennessee. So definitely they're going to be going for somebody, one of those two guys. We know where the Giants stand. So it might be a bidding war that happens during the draft or even before that. Who knows, right? We're starting to put out feelers to the Browns and see where they're at. What are they willing to go ahead and do to give up that number 2 position to go ahead and allow us to get into that 2 spot to draft that quarterback, right? And if we lose, if we're not able to do that, then we have to go to that best player available. Again, that might be, I say we go offensive and we get that right receiver. You can go defensively. You can get Abdul Carter. That's another name that's been thrown out there. So those are 2 possibilities. You have 2 different. There's so many ways you can go in this draft and still get a quarterback at the end of this. The most important thing that I hope the Raiders do is that they still get a quarterback, whether it's going to be in that first round or it's going to be a second or third. That is a question. But I don't think we not do it. We have to do it. We have to have somebody there that's going to be the future of this team moving forward, right? Who's that going to be? That is still the question that's going to be asked. But I think the Raiders are going to try to be very aggressive and try to go up to that number 2 spot. But yes, but really quick, again.
But you really want them to trade up, don't you?
I want them to trade out. Yes,
why?
I do. I want them because we need a quarterback. And
I agree, but I don't think those are the 2.
Those are the 2. Those are the best 2. I mean, you go for Dart. He has the size. He has the arm. He has a little bit of accuracy. That's still kind of, but it's going to be Cam Shedeur. This stock hasn't fallen. Shedeur's stock's fallen. He's not the number 1 overall. I think Cam goes, but you got to go for one of those 2 guys. You got to go. Yeah, if you're going to go for the best player available, those are the best players available for the position that we need the most, which is quarterback. We saw that today. But again, really quick, if you guys are watching, I appreciate you guys just watching the post-game reaction show. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Again, I am trying to get over 100 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that button, turn on notifications. Make sure you guys are tapping in. We are doing shows multiple times during the week, so make sure you guys are tapping into that. Make sure you guys go on my guy Jeff's channel, any_Raiders boosters. Give him a subscribe as well. But yeah, that takes me into my next topic. I think we covered it, but I say we still drafting quarterback this year. There's no two ways about it. You gotta go out and get your guy. Whether, like I said, whether it's number one or second round, third round, got to get one. You got to put somebody behind AOC. If AOC is going to be your starter for 2025, got to have somebody behind him. I don't know. What do you think? Do we still get a quarterback, or we get somebody in free agency?
I think we got a quarterback, not in free agency, but in the draft and in the second round and beyond. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I respect your opinion, but I just don't see trading up to get one of those two. I don't know why. I've just got a bad feeling about either one of those two working out in the future, because they're not going to work out for next year. Neither one of them are going to start next year. They're going to sit regardless. So AOC 12 is going to be a starter next year, just by default if you go by that. There's something I can't put my finger on it yet, but I just don't feel right about these two. Either one of them. It's not like one even has an advantage over the other one in my eyes. I think they're both equal. There's just something that's just not sitting right with me to warrant moving up. If we had the number one pick and we made that move, nothing I can do about it. But when we're sitting at number 6 and we legit really don't have a shot without moving to get either one of those two, I just think that's a bad move, giving up draft equity to make that move for somebody that I don't know. I just don't think they're it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then
I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't. Sometimes when you just get a gut feeling about something and you just, like, oh, that's just like a bad move. It's sort of like leaving fish out in the sun in the middle of the summer for too long, and they go, oh, I think I'm going to eat that now. There's something about that just doesn't sit right. It's not a good decision.
Oh man,
I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then all right, fine, I'll admit it.
Right.
I'm a big boy.
And
I'll take it.
I get what you're saying. The performances by Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders and even Dylan Gabriel in these past bowl games have not been impressive, right? The only one has been is Jackson Dart. He just fucking annihilated Duke, right? But I mean, either that's what the quarterback draft class, that is what is being presented to us. You can add Genty if you want to that list, right? But that is what's being presented currently. So that is a question: is that who do the Raiders go out and get? If they're not, because mind you guys, even if the Raiders are aggressive and they try to go to that number 2 spot, doesn't necessarily mean that they will get it. They might get outbid by the Giants, so they might not be able to get that spot. I don't think Tennessee is going to be willing to go ahead and negotiate having the number 1 overall pick. They might, but who knows? Obviously, if the price is right, anything could possibly happen. But at that point, you're going back to the point that you're making, is that you're giving up so much to go ahead and make that happen. Is it really worth it, right, for these two guys, right? Now we added some other names to this list that you can possibly get at a later round, or maybe at number 6, where you're not having to give up anything and you still have pretty good draft capital where you're starting at. But obviously, I want to hear what the chat has to say. But Jason says Cam Ward. There you go. Got one for Cam Ward. Only way you get Sanders is trading to Cam Ward going to the Titans. Maybe. Rod says Cam Ward would be great, but he will be gone. Yeah, he will be gone. He's probably going to go number 1. I don't know if he falls to the later rounds. I think Shedeur's stock is the one that fell because he had more of the worst performance out of the two.
So who's got the number 1 pick again?
Tennessee.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now, what's the Giants pick number 3?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say this right now that those first 3 picks are gonna go so fast because Tennessee's gonna grab a quarterback because they need one. Who's picking second? Cleveland?
Cleveland. Yeah. So it's
Cleveland's
Tennessee.
gonna
It's
Cleveland's gonna pick
Cleveland
something
and
stupid like they usually do. They're gonna do something dumb.
mhm,
Um, and then you're gonna see the Giants, their card's gonna be in almost immediately, and they're gonna take either Ward or Sanders, whoever's there. I'm
mhm,
telling you right now, those 2 teams are taking a quarterback regardless. I can't see them trading with anybody. They are more desperate for a quarterback than we are. We're not desperate for a quarterback. You gotta remember that. We're not desperate to the point where we have no options on our roster for quarterback. They have no options for
mhm.
viable quarterbacks for the future.
No,
We still have
no.
a viable option with
Mhm,
AOC 12. So I'm
mhm.
telling you, those first 3 picks are going to be like lightning round. They're going to go bing, 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 done, and then you know it's going to be our pick at number 6 like that.
Right.
You
And
know,
that's what
so
I'm
I
saying.
don't even think
Yeah.
we're going to have a chance to even try unless we do it way before the draft even starts
Mhm.
to move up and trade.
Yeah,
Those
and that's
teams,
why I
I'm
said, and
telling you.
that's what I said. You got the one that's going to be the one that will have a bidding war will be Cleveland, because Cleveland uh, holds that second spot. They really don't have any. They're not looking for a quarterback, right? You could say they could still draft a quarterback, right? But they don't need to do it at number 2. They're going to go ahead and get a wide receiver or somebody else of that caliber. They might go ahead and add somebody to their running back roster, right?
I wouldn't be
Nick Chubb's
surprised
is,
if they take
Nick
Abdul
Chubb,
Carter, to be honest with you.
they could do that too. Nick Chubb is a free agent of this year in 25. So they might add somebody to replace him or even to back him up, right? So they might have that option. They're not fully invested in a quarterback. That's the thing. So they might be willing to go ahead and negotiate, right? Obviously, we have that extra third rounder. That's going to be one of the selling points there. If that's where we have to go ahead and offer another first rounder or second or whatever that Tabasco has to do to make that happen. That's what it's going to be. But remember, you're going to have New York also trying to get to that second spot because they know if we get into that second spot, we're taking Cameron Shedeur. That's it. And they're going to be asked out. They're going to have to go ahead and get either a Dart or Gabriel to go ahead and put in behind as their quarterback. So that's not really the guys that they're really kind of looking at. They are looking at the same guys that we are. So, but you're right, we are not desperate, and that gives us options. That's where we can wait till a later round. So I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna freak out if we're not able to make that happen. But I just want to tell you guys right now, don't freak out. We can still get a quarterback. It's gonna be at a later round. So yeah, Arnie says totally agrees with you. OG of Raider Nation, 100% for sure. Um, Greg says, what are your views about trading back for more draft picks at number 6? You touched on that. You're totally for that. I'm not really with that. I'm more, we need to go ahead and get our guy. That's where my head's at. Or we don't trade up, we stay at 6 and we get best player available. That's where my mind's at
I'm
on that
always
part.
for more draft picks.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. So Arnie says Cam and Shedeur last year would have been picked after Knicks. True or false? Yeah, probably.
I think so.
That I mean, that draft class last year was so big because a lot of teams needed a quarterback, right? You did have a good amount of quality players in that draft class as well. We're seeing Bo Nix. We saw a little bit of McCarthy. Drake May. We still haven't seen anything really from Drake May. They still haven't sat. We've seen what Jaden Daniels can do. He's heading into the postseason. Caleb, because of his situation, didn't have a good year. But once they
Still
get that
wasn't
situation,
still wasn't as bad as you think it was, though.
yeah,
He still produced. I will give him that. Just
right.
bad coaching decisions and just no talent around him either. That didn't help.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, again, once they get that situation fixed in Chicago, they're gonna go ahead and turn that thing around. They have Caleb as their star, as their future moving forward. I think they won today too, by the way. Ron from Tennessee, police officer, 25 years. Ray Fatel, that salute to you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. Keeping those streets safe in Tennessee.
Fellow first responder, I appreciate you, brother.
There you go. Yes, sir.
I'm
Can
retired
count.
firefighter, so
There you go. First responders. Yes, definitely 100%. Can Cam Ward cut down his on his Jameis Winston type turnovers in the league is my question. I mean, one of the problems between these two guys is Cam and Shedeur is obviously holding onto the ball. That's the number one thing that from the get go that they need to go ahead and fix. You can't do that in this league. You can get
oh hell no.
no. You can get
That's how you get
wiped
benched
on the
fast
floor.
in this league.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't do that. You can get away with it at the collegiate level, not at the NFL. At the NFL level. Arnie says after Cam and Shedeur, it's 3 Milrow, 4 Howard, 5 Dart, based on the talent. Maybe I don't know if he put Milrow at 3, but I think you
I actually
swap
would
that
probably
with
put
Dart.
Dart at 3, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would swap that with Dart.
And I used to give LV Rate a 10 a lot of shit for talking Dart all the time, but I see what he was talking about now.
Yeah.
He sold me.
Yeah. Greg says Giants are bluffing at QB. They have Will Levis.
You really think they're gonna want to go into another season with Will Levis, though? Really?
I don't think so.
I mean, that's what they decide. That's fine. I mean,
yeah,
they have
I don't give 2 shits. They could fucking draft whoever the fuck they want.
All I know is if we had Will Levis on our team, then I'd be saying, all right, we need to draft one of these other 2 quarterbacks in the first round.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't have confidence in Will Levis. I'm sorry.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So yeah, we hope that's their mindset because then we can negotiate with them at 1, right? But
well, your mindset, not mine.
My a lot of people's mindset. A lot of people. You have a good following, but I think the majority consensus is they want.
I know Arnie's always on my side. Arnie's my
guy. He says Titans can keep Will Levis and take McMillan at 6. They could, yeah. That's if they don't get a quarterback. They definitely
need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely need that for sure. That would be smart.
Yeah, for sure. I know Ron is saying Drew Allar is worthy to pick as the Raiders. He's not going into the draft. Or did he did something else?
Staying.
Yeah, he's staying put at Penn State. So maybe next year. He might be an option, but
actually, wasn't Milrow supposed to be transferring to somebody? But now I guess that team doesn't want him
he declared.
Something.
He declared.
So he finally declared because of that. Yeah.
He declared he's going into the draft. So now he's back into the talks as well. So, but yeah, obviously, we're talking about this draft, but we also got to consider. I know we talked about this yesterday. Free agency. Now that the season's over, we can kind of look at that a little bit better. I said Justin Fields earlier. There's not a whole lot of options out there in free agency. I know we touched on Sam Darnold. That's going to be a bidding war, and that's going to come with a high price tag as well at quarterback if we decide not to go ahead and go for number 1 or even draft a quarterback in general in this draft, which I find that hard to believe that we don't do it at some type of round. But free agency is also the next option. But aside from quarterback, we got wide receivers, we got defensive players. There's so many holes that we have to go ahead and fill. What is your take? What do you think we go out and get? I know we had talked Godwin. I know there's a lot of people that like Higgins. T. Higgins, but that's gonna come with a high price tag. We have $100 million, yes, but that $100 million is gonna go very, very quickly if we don't do it the right way. Who do you like in free agency, both offensively and defensively?
Offensively, running back Najee Harris for sure. I've been saying that for the last few weeks now. Because I think he's going to come in for decent money, not expensive. Because you got to look at the body of work for this current season. They've got a quarterback now with the way Russell Wilson's been playing. So they haven't had to rely on Najee Harris like they have in the past and just keep feeding the ball. Plus, they've got Jalen Warren. So, I mean, they're going to be good if Najee Harris does not re-sign with them. So I see Najee Harris as the running back. Quarterback, I don't think we need to hit free agency. First of all, I don't think Sam Darnold's leaving Minnesota, regardless of how they do in the playoffs this year. I think he's proven too much, and the fact that McCarthy, a major knee injury, you don't know how he's going to come back from that as a rookie.
Right.
Next year's still going to be a rookie year for McCarthy because he didn't really have a rookie year this year. He'll have a year of sitting on the bench and learning and, studying and knowing the plays and everything, but he's not going to be out there, tossing the ball around and running actual plays on the field. Everything he's doing is he's just running through shit in his head.
Right.
So I don't see us really being a player in the quarterback free agency. I think we're going to stay pat with who we have and then draft. Defense, I haven't really looked on the defensive side as far as who I would like to see us bring in. I know who I want us to re-sign on our own team as a free agent, but that being said, I mean, I don't see anybody that jumps out to me on the defensive side. I think we need to put our free agency in offensive line. That's for sure. We need to bring in 2 guards, and we need to draft a future left tackle, to be groomed by Colton Miller and take over because we're all set on right tackle for a few years with Glaze. We're all set at center with JPJ. We need 2 guards. Whether we bring one in free agency and draft the other, and then also draft a future left tackle, I'm fine with that. So free agency, offensive line, wide receiver, I'm fine with Godwin. Higgins is going to be expensive. He's not going to come cheap. He's going to be closer to like the 25 to 30 mil in that range, and I don't want to blow most of our free agent money on one wide receiver that may or may not even work out for us. Who knows? Not saying Godwin's going to work out for us either. You never know, but I don't want to break the bank for one wide receiver.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, it'd be interesting to see who we go ahead and get in free agency. Obviously, there will be some names around. We said Chris Godwin from the Bucks. He's going to be available. I think Tyreek Hill is going to be available as well. Don't think that's going to be an option for us, but that's another one. Surprisingly, I think Mario Cooper is going to be a free agent as well. You never know. Might do that. Might bring him back to the Raiders. I've seen stranger shit happen. I don't know if Minnesota is. I think they're going to go ahead and do everything in their power to go ahead and keep Sam Darnold. It's going to be a bidding war for him for sure.
Oh God, yeah.
Is hot. Yeah.
You're going to have teams throwing money at him for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't think one of them should be us.
Yeah, definitely. So there's Reddick is going to be available from New York as defensively as a rusher.
Reddick. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's going to be Ward's going to be Charvarius Ward from the Niners is going to be available as well. So there's some options. Obviously at wide receiver. We don't have to go out and get T. Higgins, but yes, T. Higgins is probably going to be that cream of the crop wide receiver. Godwin, you have DeAndre Hopkins is going to be available from KC. I don't know if they're going to resign him or not. That there's some options there. Obviously, I think you got to first order of business. You got to go ahead and resign Spillane, right? You keep Spillane, you keep Chase on. Those are your top 2 guys. Then you have Polamalu. You re-sign Polamalu. Epps with that ACL tear, you don't know how he's going to come back from that. Nate Hobbs, if he's cheap, then we can go ahead and keep him on. If he's not, then we can go ahead and test free agency and see who we go ahead and pick up from there. And then you have Morik. I like Morik. I think you can go ahead and keep Morik um, on that team. Um, and I, I don't think anybody. I don't know if Adam Butler is going to be a free agent this year. I have to double check on that, but definitely Butler is playing good. I think we're probably going to part ways from Charles Snowden. Um, he's
Yeah.
a prospect, but with his shit, I don't know if the Raiders are going to go ahead and keep him on or not.
Yeah.
So
Just
let's
real quick, Ron keeps messaging stuff on here. Ron, I actually live in Rhode Island, which is that little tiny little state squished in between Connecticut and Massachusetts. So I'm over on the East Coast. That's
he's
why
on
I'm
the
a
East
New
Coast.
England Raider boosters. Yeah, I live in asshole Patriots territory over here. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
got to deal with
I'm
the rest. Yes.
yeah, I'm out in Albuquerque. I'm out in the Southwest, so I got to deal with the asshole fucking Denver Broncos and the Cowboys. So, but nation is deep out here.
Yeah.
Don't let it fool you. We're pretty
Yeah.
deep in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But
I know
yeah,
you keep saying, Ron, I know you keep talking about Drew Alla from Penn State, but we've heard that he's not declaring for the draft. He's going back to Penn State for another year. I mean, granted, if he was coming out, I mean, we definitely would look for him. I mean,
mhm,
any quarterback that's coming out is, a viable option. I mean,
mhm.
but I mean, that's why nobody's really even mentioning his name because last we've heard he's staying in Penn State. Unless you know
Yep,
different, if you're from that area or diehard Penn State fan. You know,
yeah,
am I a Celtics fan? I like pretty much all the Boston sports area teams except for the Patriots. They can all go pound tar for all I care. I hate the Patriots. That's why it hurt when I
I
heard
hate the
Brady was going
Patriots
to be
too.
pot owner, but I learned to live with it. Still doesn't mean if you walked in the room right now, I wouldn't punch him in the face. I still would because I just hate
Break
him
that
that
pretty
much.
face of his.
Yeah, yeah, right square in the fucking nose. But
But yeah, there obviously defensively, there's guys that we keep. Offensively, there's not too many guys. Um, uh, Jacoby's still under contract. AOC still has another year or two on his rookie. I think Trey Tucker's still going to be on board. Obviously, we got Brock for the next like 5 years.
thank
Mayer's
God.
still under his rookie contract as well. I think.
Should
Um,
restructure his contract now so he doesn't leave.
I
That's why we
know,
got
like
the
we're going to
money.
give you more money now.
Yeah,
You're worth
yeah.
it.
What about my rookie contract? Don't worry about it. Shut up.
Shut
Just
up. Just
take
take
the
the
money.
money.
Yeah,
Damn it.
take it. Take
Probably
it.
give him a bonus. I'll probably give him a bonus because he's Brock Bowers. Fuck yeah. All
Yeah.
good. Give him a bonus. Give him $1 million bonus. It's all right. It's
I
$1
mean,
million.
we haven't had a pure player with talent like that, and I can't even think of how long.
Mhm.
Seriously. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
even Josh Jacobs, as good as he was, and I just Brock Bowers is just
It's on a different level.
he's
Different level.
yeah, one of the most valuable players I've seen on this team since I can
For sure.
remember,
For
without a
sure.
doubt.
For sure. 100%. But yeah, obviously, my take, and we talked about this yesterday. I feel we need to go ahead and restructure and eventually extend Max. I know you're different. You're thinking about that differently. I don't know how many people are going to come around for that option. This is all what if option, right?
Oh
Not
yeah,
necessarily.
all
Yeah,
pipe
not
dream.
necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily. We're going to have teams knocking on the door to see if Max available for draft capital, but that might be a possibility, right?
Yeah,
Nobody knows for sure whether or not Raiders will entertain something like that. He Max has a great relationship with Davis, so he's spoken vocally multiple times, almost every time that he wants to be a Raider and wants to retire a Raider. So I don't see that guy going anywhere. Realistically, right now, everything he had said the other day on his podcast show, I mean, that's all a contract negotiation tactic that you're pulling there. Obviously, you're trying to go ahead and get more money. You're trying to get that guaranteed money because you saw now he was hurt this season. So now things are his mindset's starting to change as you see. But also goes on the way he plays. He plays 110% every fucking snap, and that's great. But your chef life's going to run out pretty
oh
quickly
yeah,
by doing
and
that.
that's
You
why
know.
That's why I'm a big fan of let's if we're gonna do it, let's do it now.
Mhm.
Seriously. Told you, if teams come a calling, you better be picking up that phone and listening. And if the offer's too good to be true, I love you, Max, but you know what? I love draft picks more, and I love more options in the locker room. You
Mhm.
know, depth, 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 and it shows this year because we didn't have depth. How bad this team really was. Just look at the wide receiver room or the
Yeah.
running back room. Or the defensive secondary room. Where do I stop? Offensive line, quarterback room. I mean, the depth is like non-existent this year.
Yeah.
You know, the more draft picks, the more chances to bring bodies in to compete with each other for
Mhm.
these positions to better us for the future. You know,
Yeah.
so I
I'm
mean,
on the
I'm
other side of that spectrum. As yeah, if y'all know, I'm on the other side of that spectrum. Obviously, you keep Max, and if you're gonna do a deal like that, you better call Mark before you even attempt to do something like that, because your ass is grass before you know it. Because
well. I'll tell
definitely
you
got to
what.
clear
You
that.
you send you send an email to Mark Davis that
That bit,
says
that
these
sales
words
pitch better be on
exactly.
point.
Before you do anything with Max Crosby, you ought to reach out to me so I
And
can give
only me.
approval or denial to whatever type of plan you have set
Hmm.
for Max Crosby trading him away. So
Hmm.
make sure that they contact you so
Yeah.
when the time comes, get your input on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to. You got to. You got to hit up Mark because your ass is grass if that happens. But that's it. This is all what ifs. If teams come, I'm pretty sure trade offers are going to be. I don't know how many. It'd be interesting to know how many trade offers he gets every season. I wonder what that statistic would
I mean, I'm
actually
sure
look
he
like.
does. I can't imagine he's
At
not.
least like five. I say like 4 or 5 per season.
I mean, you
So
got to look at it
definitely
this
they're
way.
going to come.
Yeah, you gotta look at it this way with Max. His stock is not gonna be much higher than what it is
Mhm.
at this moment. Even though he left, he finished the season early because of the injury and getting the surgery. But that was a smart move on his part because now he'll have more time to heal and be more ready, more prepared and ready for next season if
Mhm.
he stays here. But it shows other teams that he was willing to get himself right so he can be effective for next year. So
Mhm.
his stock might not be any higher than what it is right now, which means this is your chance as an organization to really reap the benefits of what he's done for this team as a player in these last few years and get what you get the max value for what you can for max. Haha, see,
Mhm.
you know. And Arnie, I never said anything about getting rid of Mayer. I'm fine with keeping Michael Mayer. I don't want
Yeah.
to trade him away. No.
Oh yeah. So let's go to the chat really quick because this is good too. Obviously, do you trade or extend max if those feelers come a calling, right? Greg says Max Crosby is one man, one position, so it's shield over player. Okay. Barney says he drank the Kool Aid. He drank your Kool Aid. Trade
Yes, he
Max for
did.
2 rounders. Trade Manor for a third round pick. Yikes. Uh,
I
Max is
agree
a
with it all
fourth.
but the Mayer part. I don't want to get Mayer
Yeah.
on.
Greg says he Max is a fourth or fifth round to flip it for a first rounder pick to try and secure a running back
And that's what
receiver.
I'm getting at. Look what you're getting for your return on what you spent on him.
A fourth or fifth round.
No, we got him in the fifth is what he means.
Uh, uh let's see.
And we're gonna flip it to a first round is what he's saying
Okay.
because of
Okay.
when we drafted him. So like Brock Purdy, picked the last pick in the draft in the sixth or seventh round. And if
Mhm.
they were to trade him away, they're going to get us at least at the best a second round pick. That's a
Mhm.
hell of an increase. You talk about a return on your investment. That's a good return on your investment. We turn
Mhm.
around and trade Max away and get a first round this year, first round next year. That is a wicked
Oh yeah,
fucking
that
return on
is.
your
Oh, that
investment.
is a way because you go into 26 with 2 first rounders. Of course,
Yep.
yes, 100%. But I don't see that happening with Max. And to where you have to
Never say
create
never.
depth. What you create depth, you can create depth not only in the draft but in free agency. That's where you go ahead and do it. You can go ahead. Guys are getting signed all the time. So I think Maxx stays. I don't see him going anywhere. Realistically, don't see him. You know damn well too, Jeff. Agree with me on
I
this.
think,
But you know,
dude, we're gonna have
he
to
ain't
put
gonna
you
go
on a
anywhere.
watch list if they do end up trading Max away.
Oh yeah, man. Fuck that.
You're gonna
I'm
lose
gonna be
your
right in the
shit.
street.
You're gonna go nuts.
I'm gonna be right in the street. Ari says, in Tedesco we trust. New model for Mark Davis. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Sacktown Mike says, I can't see taxing Max for more draft picks. They are not guaranteed. Max's facts. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. See, that is a valid point. Nothing is guaranteed. This is all capital, and we don't know if these guys are going to work out or not. Right?
It could also be
We
for
got
players.
lucky. We hit on a top three, but we still there's other picks that we still don't know whether they're going to pan out or not. Right? But at least our top three guys have great. But who knows? Maybe Telesso gets it all wrong next this coming draft. We don't fucking know.
Yeah, but
That
keep
is a
this in
question.
mind. Keep this in mind too. If we get 2 first-round picks, one this year, one next year for him, what's to say we can't trade away one of those first-round picks for a bona fide starting NFL quarterback right now? Doesn't have to be for a prospect. You could trade one of those first-round picks for a quarterback of your choice because it's possible. It's been done.
It's possible.
It's
Yeah.
been done.
Do I think it's going to happen? I do not. For the only
I mean, do
reason
I think it's gonna happen? Probably not either, but I mean, a
yeah,
boy can dream, right? I mean,
but we can dream. We can all have dreams.
this
I
little
said
kid
one
can
time.
dream.
I remember early in the season, I said that wouldn't it be great to draft Hunter and Hunter and Shedeur together? That'd be a wonderful dream.
Yeah,
But
now you talk about a pipe dream. That was a fucking pipe dream. I'm sorry.
that's a pipe dream. Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't see
yeah,
that
that
happening.
wasn't gonna happen.
But they are not going to be together. I know they were dreaming too, but I don't see that happening. Tony says, salute, Tony. Thank you for watching, brother. Jackson
Tony.
Dart is a Raider. We don't know. Maybe that's a possibility. If we don't get our quarterback in the first round, he is going to be one of those guys that is an option. He might go as high as 2 or maybe late in the first. We don't know. That's going to be the question there. I appreciate you, Ron. Thank you for watching. Yes, we hate the Patriots too. Yes, definitely.
Oh, I despise the Patriots with a passion.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And then again, if you guys are watching, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Again, I check right now. I'm 99 subscribers. Come on, y'all. Give me to that 100 mark. Hit that subscribe. Yes. I just checked right now on my phone. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Wipe your feet. Go ahead and support the show. I appreciate you guys for all of you guys watching, bringing more content to you. I'm going to be going on in this whole off season. So is Jeff. We're still doing a lot. We're still doing podcasts. We're still talking Raiders football. Again, we're just scratching the surface, y'all. We don't know what's going to happen with AP. And I might do a show as soon as maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know. We got our show on Wednesday. But I might jump on Monday or Tuesday to really talk about this and really break all this down, whether we know he's going to go or he's going to stay, because it might be announced he's going to stay. So that might be a possibility. So make sure you guys turn on your notifications, stay up to date with the shows, with the shorts as well. I just dropped a short early this morning. It's fucking hilarious. Check that out, guys. But yes, make sure you go into my guys' channel as well. Jeff, any _ Raiders boosters, give him subscribe as well. But we're getting to that point. We're almost on 2 hours. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up.
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir. 1 hour 50. Hour 50. Final thoughts
Time flies when
this
you have
season.
fun.
Yeah, we did. We hit up.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go on tomorrow night too. I think what I'm going to probably do tomorrow night is end of the season club stuff, and then just turn it into after that. Just start talking about other things, Raider things. Plus, I want to play with this tomorrow.
There you
One
go.
of the former president of the club gave me the camera
Uh-huh.
he had, 'cause he is a school teacher, and he had to use it for Zoom, but he's got 2 of them, so he gave me this one. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll give it a
Nice.
shot."
Yeah.
Well, 'cause I won't have to
Nice.
keep opening up my goddamn laptop, because right now I'm working off the camera on the laptop, and then I have to slide
Okay.
the other monitor off.
hmm
It's a whole
Yeah. I
process
have
when I gotta go
it.
online.
It is a whole process, and I have that mobile camera too. So it's
You
good.
have
It
the
helps
same
me out.
one?
Not the same one. It's similar. But it's not. It goes up to 4K. So it's good.
Yeah, that's
We
good.
do 1080p in the show. So yeah. It's very similar. It's the same style, and I
Yeah.
have the little tripod to it and everything. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's in here.
Yeah, but no, for sure. You guys on the chat, let me know your final thoughts on this. Obviously, season is now at the end. We are officially in the off season, at least for the Raiders.
Thank
Football
God.
is still going on for a few more weeks, but let
Tired
me
of
know your
beating a
guys'
dead
thoughts.
horse all season long.
Yeah, we can finally put the shitty season to an end and let's stop talking about all these fucking losses. Because I am. This is probably the last time you hear me to really talk about any losses over the season. I'm gonna be looking forward to free agency, to the draft. Candidates on offensive coordinator. We're really gonna deep dive into that. Who's going to be our next OC? I doubt it's going to be the Turners. I don't see them sticking around, but we might bring somebody from collegiate level. I'll throw a couple options out there as well, and then obviously from the NFL level, who can come in to our organization, especially being at 6, have a real possibility of actually drafting an elite quarterback. Is very possible. It's a little bit harder when you're at 13, but at 6, it becomes more realistic. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, what are your thoughts, Jeff? I'm glad the season's over.
I am too. I, I
Mhm.
I am in a way, and I normally hate when it gets to the end of the season, but this season has just been it's just been a goddamn nightmare. And I think it was extremely rough because the way we ended last year, we ended on such a
Mhm.
higher note. The team showed promise. The players would be behind, AP. AOC 12 was playing decent down the end of this, the end stretch there, especially coming in as a rookie off the bench. Um, it just felt so good. And then all of a sudden we bring in Minshew. I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. And then the season starts. He's the starter, and it just went downhill so fast. And
Yeah,
first of all, this season felt like it was a 30-game season.
it
It
did.
feels like it was longer than usual, even though it wasn't. Um, but yeah, I'm glad it's over. We had a serious hiccup in the middle of it with the whole firing of Getsy and 2 other coaches, and then moving coaches around, and the injuries just made it so much tougher. So this was a pretty bad season. Um, like I said the other day, it might be one of the worst seasons I've been since I've been a Raiders fan, and I've been a fan since '76. And we had a 1-win season, and I still think this season felt like it was worse than that one. So
Yeah,
like I said
yeah.
earlier, I'm moving on to the off season at this point now. Now our game's over, and
Mhm.
just see where the first domino falls from here, and we'll go.
Exactly,
See what happens.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad we can just go ahead and move on, look towards the off season. And like you said, the first question hopefully gets answered, and that's whether AP season goes. And we'll keep you
Yeah.
guys up to date. Make sure
I'm
you guys
still
tap in.
refreshing the screen like crazy on ESPN, and
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't stopped.
I'm gonna be dropping a short. So if it happens, if he goes, make sure you guys do turn on there because I'm gonna be dropping a short for
Yeah.
that. If you're on Instagram, it's gonna be a reel. So make sure you guys do turn on those notifications because they are relevant. We're gonna be this is news happens, drop of a dime, so it's hot. But yeah, again, make sure you guys go on socials, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and X at JRaider _505. That's JRaider _505. And where can they find you, Jeff?
Any underscore Raider boosters. That's the YouTube channel that I use for the club. If you go to that underneath my name there, you'll see underneath the any Raider boosters on the screen there, you'll see that link tree link. If you go to that link, that'll bring up all our social media platforms for the booster club. You'll find me on all that stuff. You'll find me on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. It's a private Facebook group, but if you try and join it, I'm usually the one that handles the acceptance to let you in, as long as your profile shows that you've got some sort of Raiders items in it, like hats, whatever you're wearing. We do that so we don't get any Patriots or Chiefs fans or other idiots of other teams. So we keep it strictly Raider fans and actual club members that are part of that. So, and if
Yep.
anybody lives in the New England area, reach out to me, get you some information on joining the club, and be prepared next season. The Raiders are coming to town to play those god awful Patriots next season. So
Yep.
if anybody's planning on coming out to New England for that game, reach out to me, because we're going to be starting the planning now for the pregame party the night before, and also hosting the tailgate too. So
Mhm.
can't wait for them to set the date so we can really go in the full gear setting that up. But we started talking about that today at the bar at the final game. So
Mhm. Mhm.
it's going to be a good season, hopefully.
Yes.
Pray to God it is.
And yep. And just so you guys know, doing that Saturday morning show, again, that's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, every damn Saturday morning. Make sure you guys are tapping into that. I'm going to be doing mock draft in those next episodes. So we'll go through different scenarios in that mock draft. Obviously, that's the hot topic right now. Aside from free agency and this whole AP scenario going on. But yeah, mock draft episodes coming. We're going to do that together, guys, and it'll be fun because we'll see who we get. And we'll do a few of them and see what it looks like getting
Yeah.
trading up or staying at 6. We trade down. We'll see what happens. It's different options. So those are fun to do 100%.
Yeah,
But
your show Saturday was good. That was you had a shit ton of viewers on that one. That turned
we
out
had
to
a
be a
lot of
good
views.
idea for you to
We had
do
a lot
that.
of views right now too. We went up to
Yeah.
we had 30 people in the building. So for sure, thank you guys again for watching. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support 100%. Again, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Yeah, but we had 33 people in the building at one point
Nice.
watching all together because I got a little view here on how many people are just watching. So yeah, it was good. It was good for sure. And we're gonna be doing this again. We're gonna be doing a show. Make sure you guys tune in on Wednesday. That is for sure. That is the Raider
What's up, Chris?
Connection.
Oh, you just in time. We're logging off, brother.
Oh,
We're at the end.
yeah, for sure. Salute, brother. Yeah, we're doing the Raider Connection this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Normally we break down the games and that we're going to be shifting over to the off season now. So we'll be talking about the AP saga right now, the drama. We're going to be talking about free agency, the draft, obviously, and who we go after as offensive coordinator. So make sure you guys tap in. You guys can on either channel. We have that up, so make sure you guys go ahead and tune into that on Wednesday. But that is it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna go out and have dinner. So
I might
you
actually
guys.
just jump on my channel for a little bit, maybe.
There you go. There you go. Jeff might do something. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go have a smoke, and I think I'm gonna fire it up on my channel. So anybody who wants to hop on over, come on
there you
over.
go.
Give me about 15 minutes.
Tap into that. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and have me some dinner, and go ahead and finish. I don't know if this Vikings Lions game is still going on, but I'll check that out.
Yeah, we're at 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Detroit's
Perfect.
up 24-9. So Detroit's
Okay.
going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC, folks.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, Chris,
But
I'll have you come on with me too if you want, brother.
There you go. Awesome. Beautiful thing.
All right. Well, everybody
But
have
thank
a
you guys for
wonderful
watching.
evening.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
Everybody
Jay.
have a great evening. Thank you, Jeff, for being my my guest
No
today.
problem.
And again, you guys always remember, just Raiders, baby. We'll see you next time.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Peace.